chances are incredibly slim. So, imagine what it must be like to see UFOs night after night after night for months. And getting no confirmation as to what they are, no matter how hard you try. That's what's happening to a man in Minnesota. And even those at the highest levels of government are unable to shed some light.
Our alien friends are back. There's two of them.
May 3rd, 2020, Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Charlie Cruz is getting ready for bed when he sees an unusual bright light in the sky. He knows it can't be a plane approaching because the nearby Flying Cloud Airport is closed for the night. So Charlie goes outside with his wife and starts filming.
Oh, look at that.
It's not making any noise.
Oh, what the hell? I don't know what that is.
It's not a plane.
My name is Charlie Cruz, and these are my videos. It didn't make any noise whatsoever, and then went back inside. A few minutes later, a second one came, a similar flight pattern. Went back out into my driveway, took out my iPhone, proceeded to continue with a second video of that. Sure enough, a third one came by a few minutes later, did the same thing, went out in my driveway, proceeded to film that.
Third time coming around here. Seems to be going in the same pattern as the first two times.
Bottom line is, I could not identify what it is.
Despite how weird it is, Charlie doesn't think too much of it until those curious lights come back over and over again.
Our alien friends are back. There's two of them. Coming in to a similar flight pattern. Same look to it.
I proceeded to video this night after night, and to date I have over 100 videos of the, for lack of a better term, UFOs.
It's the same thing that came before.
Charlie brings the videos to the head of the municipal airport, and they are just as confused.
They did some further investigation and checked their radar, and they had nothing show up on their radar.
So Charlie is referred to a contact at the police department who's in charge of illicit activity at the airport.
I showed him the video. He found it curious enough to spend some time at my home at night. He witnessed these himself on multiple occasions.
But he, too, cannot figure it out.
They in turn contacted the FBI. I myself contacted the local branch of the FBI. And then beyond that, I reached out to a contact of mine that works for Homeland Security. Showed him the videos. He had no idea what it was. He then took those same videos, showed some contact friends of his in the FBI, and also the new defense agency, Space Force.
No one at any of the agencies can identify the objects.
So what we have here is a lot of information that really has left a lot of people with unanswered questions.
Yeah, in the trees right now. There it emerges again.
This is, I think, some of the best kind of captured footage of the unexplained. We see a lot of nocturnal lights videos, but rarely is it with this level of consistency and documentation and then attempted sleuthing that leads to nothing.
Imagine seeing this night after night, week after week, seeing things that you can't explain, that locals and authorities say we have no explanation for it, but don't worry about it. And yet, he continues to see it.
The government is a secretive agency. So what if They're using Flying Cloud Airport to test types of crafts that, you know, are going to be used as secret weapons somehow.
Kind of flickers in and out.
If I were to take a calculated guess, based on what I'm seeing with the naked eye, I would think that perhaps it's what's called a predator drone that is often used for illicit surveillance. With that said, see activity in that video that is not explained away easily as a predator drone. It just doesn't add up there. So it's left me with a lot of unanswered questions.
Our alien friends are back.
Whatever these things are, Charlie will continue to look for them every night until he gets some answers.
It became a little bit habitual. My wife started to look at me a little curious, and that's fine, I get that. But I really wanted to get enough information, for lack of a better term, to try to, you know, build a case. So my journey continues to be to try to figure out what I'm actually seeing.
It looks like there's 5 of them stacked.
What should you do in the event you witness something paranormal? Here are some tips